Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. This fall, the Disney Bundle has all the action.
Holy smokes!
Watch live NFL and college football games on ESPN Plus. On Disney Plus, there's Loki Season 2.
War is on its way.
And Ahsoka.
Buckle up.
And on Hulu, you can watch The Boogeyman and Welcome to Wrexham.
Oh my God, the expectation.
All of these and more streaming this fall with the Disney Bundle. Blackouts and restrictions apply. 18 plus only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby.
All right, baby. We are back. Week 3 of America's favorite podcast, Benjamin Betts, baby. My name is Corey. I'm here with my co-host, Jared. Are you ready, baby, for some?
What it do, baby boo?
Oh, let's go. We were perfect last week. Oh, wait. No, we weren't. I was joking. But it was kind of close, maybe.
No, like, if you look overall, we're sitting 8-4 on our bets, and we're 1 for 1 in the mortgage world. Like, okay, mortgage breaks you even, that's fine. But if you're making our other bets, you're making money right now.
Well, and I want to be the first to say, like, you are cooking. Like, you're 6-0.
That's right. I had to make a deal with the devil, and it was either win our fantasy football league, which I'm 0-2 in, or help our audience make bets. And it's very clear what I chose.
It is very clear what you chose. But you know what, Jared, for this time of year, you chose correctly. So let's go, baby. So we're going to call this episode Pick What Jared Picks, and you're going to make some money. Although you did make your mortgage this week.
You did make your mortgage, so, like, easily.
Yeah.
Like,
or last week.
Yeah, last week. You weren't even sweating. Like, you were like, oh, I can, go watch Law and Order because this is definitely gonna happen.
Easy. Yeah, you didn't even actually need the tease on this one. Like, you would have hit it anyway. So we were feeling good over here. But you know what? It is another week, and we got to dive in. Do you want to do a quick little recap? You said we're 8-4 overall, so we've gone 4-2 the last 2 weeks. Our overall picks, the ones that we do just to kind of complete our selections, maybe haven't been the best.
No,
but that's why we're giving you our 6 that we like, and the other ones, take them or leave them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we call them. When we are talking off air, we call them trap games. And it's games that just feel like a coin flip, and I don't want to play coin flips because I want to make money. So we did very poorly. We picked the extra 6 games. We each went 1-2 in both of those extra picks that we just locked in via text message, didn't put any money on. But we're 8-4 for money picks, and right now there's some charities making money.
There are some charities making money, and they're very happy, and they're rolling with us. We're rolling with us. So, Jared, I just say we just roll right on into week 3. Are you ready, baby?
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right. So, am I kicking this one off? I think I'm on.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm real scared.
Doing?
Let me open us up tonight, maybe, because I think you've opened us up the last 2 times on the bets. Maybe that's where the curse is. So maybe I'll go way off script here.
All right, I like it.
But most of you who listen to the podcast know I record out of Nashville, so I'm sticking with the Titans this week. This is where I'm going.
Okay.
They come off a miraculous win last week, which I don't know if you were watching that game. What a game. But they're playing at the Browns this week. Titans not necessarily looking at their strongest personally. I have no idea who is going to win this game. But I know a couple things. I know there's no Nick Chubb. I know the Titans have no idea what they're doing on offense. No idea. They have a great run defense. But they're a mess. This is a low under, and I'm taking it. I'm taking it. This is a low scoring affair. Browns into the Titans defense. Titans can't do anything either. 21-10 Cleveland.
Ooh, Ooh,
Cleveland.
21-10.
Something
you're
like
thinking-
that. Like I said, like you would say, oh, then just take Cleveland -3. It's not that easy with the Titans. The Titans are the ultimate play to the level of their opponent. Taking a spread with the Titans is a nightmare. So take the under here in Cleveland at an early noon game.
Under Cleveland, I like that. Gonna be slogging there in the mud in Cleveland. Is that even a word? I see that. Poor Nick Chubb, man. He did. We were talking before the game. We had some fantasy implications, and I may have said I wanted Nick Chubb to not have a good game, but I did not want him to get hurt.
We never want anybody to get hurt.
Nah, man. No. He seems like a good dude, but I already know where I'm putting all my fantasy free agent budget. We talked about this earlier. Give me Jared. I might drive a Toyota. I got my Tundra, but I'm gonna be driving a Ford this week. Give me. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I need a running back. So I'm sorry, Nick. I really am, but giddy up forward. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Where are you going?
All right. You're going with the under on this Titans-Browns game. I'm taking the opposite, and this is going to be a plethora of points scored here. I'm going the next game. This happens at noon as well. Chargers at Vikings. I can't venture to say how many touchdowns are going to be scored in this game. Call it like 8. The over is 53.5. Tons of points. But Chargers at Vikings, both these teams are 0-2. And Jared, that smells desperation to me, which means chuck the ball. If you have Jefferson, Herbert, Kirk
Hawkinson,
our boy Kirk Cousins. This is going to be a high scoring game. You know me, I like to always play out the scenario here. And if I were to tell you, Vikings win 30-27, you'd be like, oh yeah, 30-24. All those things are possible for us to cover this game. So give me over 53.5. Chargers at Minnesota Vikings.
I like it. I'm following suit. I do not like spreads this week. I'm looking. They're so high. Like if I'm trying to remember a week last time that I saw the spreads, like Giants Niners is 10 right now. Texans Jags is 9.5, 7.5, 6, 12.5. If you go to the Kansas City game, 12 and it's good for Vegas. It's not good for you as the bettor. So over-unders are my play this week. I'm going to take one spread, but here's the game that I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I have to be missing a number because both these teams got their swag on this past week and looked great and both had 30-plus points. They've got Buffalo going into Washington at 44.5. Are you kidding me? There's no way that line shouldn't be 54. There's no way. There's no way. The Commanders in week 1 put up 20 points. In week 2 put up 30 points. Now the Bills pooped it week 1 against the Jets, but they came back swinging this week. There's no way this game is under 44.5 points. There's no way. Give me the over Bills and Commanders.
I love that 44.5. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into my free agency for my fantasy team. If Case Richardson doesn't play, I got Howell, baby. I think Sam Howell, the quarterback for the Commanders, he's the real deal. I think he is the little version of Josh Allen. I think he does a lot of the same things.
Body type,
I think that offense may not be as potent as the Bills, but they like to score. I think, Jared, that is an awesome pick. And even if the Bills, maybe they do get out, 14-point lead late in the fourth quarter, I can see the Commanders getting some garbage points in there just to keep it close, and that helps the over. So
absolutely.
I love it, baby. I love it.
All I want to see is Scary Terry in the end zone and pick a Bills ball catcher in the end zone all day.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Well, maybe it does. Let me look who I'm playing this week. I'm playing our friend Jeremy. I don't know who.
He's the top point scorer 2-0 in our league. Good luck. Good
Yeah,
luck.
good luck, GG. Go with a man this next game. He coaches a team that I don't think has lost to this team in 25 years. And I'm talking about the cheater, Bill Belichick. And they're traveling to New York against a Jets team that is hobbling right now, Jared. They're on life support. They don't have their quarterback. I don't think Garrett Wilson's playing in this game. Their defense will be there. But Patriots are -2.5 here. Patriots win by a field goal. I think the Patriots are 0-2, Jared. And if they go 0-3, there might as well, Jesus might be coming back. I mean, I cannot see them starting an NFL season 0-3. I don't care if Brady's not the quarterback. It doesn't matter. They're not losing to the Jets. Give me Patriots -2.5. Their defense will travel. This will be a low-scoring game, but Patriots game-winning field goal. It's written all over this right here. So give me
like
Patriots -2.5 against the lowly New York Jets.
That is, it's funny that you say that because that is literally the lowest over I've ever seen in my entire life. 37. 37. That's just gross.
Just gross. 37? Like 20-17? Is that going to be the score of this game? Like that's brutal. 37 points is a slap in the face in today's NFL.
I agree. Now, listen, I'm going to finish us off. I'm going to finish my section off with a team that got their mojo back in week 2. Week 1, they got slapped around like they were a little JV team. Like they were just nobody. Like they were nobody. And then hard-fought battle in week 2. Lots of defensive touchdowns this past week. But listen, I know there's a lot of distractions in Las Vegas, but Mike Tomlin ain't going to give in to any of them. Pittsburgh +2.5 in Vegas all day. Actually, let me switch that up. Pittsburgh money line all day. All day.
Money line. I had to look at that line about 5 times because I watched that Monday night game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're feisty. They're not favored in this game. Like I was like, why are the Raiders -2.5? This has to be an anomaly. This has to be bet right now. I'm with you. Money line. Put more money on it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I don't know how you can't. So no, that is again. I think that's a typo. I do think that's a typo.
I'm trying to understand, Corey. I don't know if they're baiting us in or what's happening here, but makes sense to me. Yeah.
There's another game, Jared, that's also a typo, and I'm going to finish off our 6 teams because this could be the most lopsided affair of the week, our weekend, and it's not Cowboys, Arizona. It's not Chicago Bears at Kansas City. Don't let those 12.5 points fool you. You know where this is actually going to be a slaughter? Where do you think? Broncos at Miami. At first, I saw -16.5, and I thought that's appropriate. -16.5. And then I looked again, and it was -6.5. And again, Jared, you and I were the same age. We're 35. We don't, you wear glasses. I don't have any glasses yet, but I thought I needed them because 6.5 is silly. I bet that right now. Punch it in -6.5. Manny, I think Russell Wilson. This will be his last game because he'll go into this wanting to go toe to toe with Tua, and it could be gross. Now I think Jalen Waddle might be hurt, and I think maybe that's cutting this down a little bit. But if you don't remember, Tyreek Hill still plays on this team, and Denver is just not good. Like they're just not good. I know they've stayed in some of these games. That Hail Mary last week, like they should have lost by 8 against the Commanders. Like so, -6.5 Dolphins. Give me Miami in Miami.
I like it. Corey's bucking the trend. I just went back and looked. Week 1, if you don't remember, Denver in a loss. Do you know by how many points?
3.
1.
Oh, 17,
1.
16.
And then last week by 2. So I like it. It's the highest altitude team visiting one of the lowest altitude teams. And I've said this so many times last year on the podcast. Who has the greatest home field advantage? Many people think it's Denver. It is Miami. It is Miami.
Oh, yeah.
It is Miami. Don't know. None of those mountain boys want to go play in the muckety muck in September. In September in Miami.
Yeah. September, it's going to be 86 degrees, rainy down there. That's going to be gross. I mean, those guys will be sweating before they get off the plane. I mean, it's going to be nasty. And I know some of those, a lot of players, they play college in the South or wherever, so they're used to it. But no, I just don't think the Broncos are equipped. At -16.5, maybe you would have gotten me here. But -6, come on, man.
Let's go. Let's go.
All bloody day right there. So that'll wrap up my 3 picks.
Benjamin bets. It's all about the
that's great. And just so you know, at a $10 bet, which we usually do, that 6-leg parlay is going to win us $499.50 this week. And like we said, we only need lightning to strike once every 3 years to call it even on our parlays. So we betting that all day. $10 on each of those individual games, $10 on the 6-game parlay. And then you know what we have to do now. We got to make our mortgage. We made it last week. Corey, just give me a for sure thing that's about to happen this week.
Yeah, I think in life, we need short things every once in a while. And today I'm going to give it to you because Jerry, this is a tough world we live in. And, there's a lot of bad things that are going on right now. And it's hard to navigate life, but we need a constant. And this is the mortgage bet right here. So cue up our music. Well, we don't have any music, but we're going to get some music for the mortgage bet. No, I should not, because team always sucks me in, and sometimes they do me dirty, and sometimes they do me good, like last week. And I was going to stay away from Seattle. I promise I was going to. But when we can get -1 against Carolina in Seattle, we talked about Miami's home field. I don't want me, I don't want to be outside in the heat and be gross and sweaty. But Bryce Young is not ready for Seattle. This is his 3rd professional game. He played at Alabama. There's been some loud stadiums in the SEC. He's not ready for the noise up there in Seattle. He's not ready. And he's a rookie. He's doing okay. He covered last week because he threw a stupid touchdown at the end of the game or tied it or whatever with the spread. This is going to be a disaster. So we have Seattle. We got him teased down to -1. Just win the game, Pete. Just win the game. Field goal. Even if Bryce Young has a coming out party, he's not winning this game. So give me Seattle -1, and then we're going to pair that against the team, 2 teams, one Super Bowl aspirations. The other one, it's just had a good start to the season. But you know what,
where you're going.
Cinderella, you know what? She had the carriage turned into a pumpkin at some point, and Tampa Bay. God bless them. God bless. The Bucks are a fun team to root for. That orange popsicle jersey that they wear, I'm a fan. But we get them down. We pick in Philly. Philadelphia Eagles -1. Once we tease this down, again, Philly goes to Tampa. Not much of a home field there in Tampa, in my opinion. Philly just has to win. So it's like, come on, man. -1 again. Give me a field goal win there by Jake Elliott. Hurts. Philadelphia is prime for a breakout game, and I think that's going to happen here. This probably, if you wanted to really gamble, I think you could, both these games, you probably could push the line up a little bit if you wanted. I even dare to not even make this a tease. But you know what? We're just making our mortgage here. So
Right.
we don't want no one mad at us. So
Yeah.
Seattle -1. Lay that with Philadelphia -1. You're teasing this down. You're getting 4.5 points teased here to +100. Put your money in, pay your mortgage, feel good about yourself. Bet the birds, baby. Seahawks and Eagles. Let's go.
Bet the birds. I like that. That's going to be our week 3 slogan, bet the birds. So just one more go through. So if you're listening and you need to lock in our original bets for the first part of the show, we're saying Titans at Browns, take the under. Chargers at the Vikings, we want you to take the over, points there. Patriots rolling in against an understaffed at this point Jets team. We're taking them -2.5. Buffalo going to Washington. We're saying take the over, predicting a lot of points there. Miami home against the Broncos, given 6.5. We're willing to take that. And then Pittsburgh rolling into the Raiders. We say, we don't even want your dadgum spread. We'll take the money line. Those are the 6 original. And then if you're trying and you're listening and like, Jared, that's a lot of bets, I'm not interested in that, then we want to give you 2 simple bets to partner together that my main man Corey says is going to pay your mortgage. And like he said, bet the birds. We are taking the Seahawks at home against the Panthers, teasing that down from 5.5 to 1, and then doing the same for Philadelphia traveling to Tampa Bay, teasing that down to 1 as well. And I think there could be a lot of money made this week, Corey. I think there's quite some change to be made.
I feel really good. You know, weeks 1 and 2, I always go into it optimistic, but week 3 right here, Jared, this is going to be it, man. We're going to get the 6-0, hit the mortgage. I feel like 8-0 is coming. It's coming.
That'd be hot,
it's
man.
happening.
To be sitting here next week talking to you about a 14-4 record, that's cash money. That's ooh, daddy. That's well over 70%.
We have in weeks 1 and 2, at least the noon games, we've done really well. So it felt like, oh man, we have a chance. I know week 2, you know, it got stolen from us. We didn't talk about how it got stolen yet, but when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stupid Bucks did a pick 6 on Justin Fields and ruined that under, which was just stupid. We were cooking. We were cooking.
Yeah, we were cooking.
It keeps it exciting. And nothing's worse than losing our parlay in the noon game.
Yeah.
That's just
well,
feel good.
And we had an interesting situation, and I should bring this up because this is interesting. We actually had one of our bets when we played it, when we placed the bet, not when we set it on air. The line was a little bit different there, but it pushed. So when a bet pushes, you receive your money back, nothing won, nothing lost. So the technicality of how the money plays out on the back end was our Saints bet this past week pushed. Just throwing that out there for those of you that care. Corey and I usually don't set up. We make our bets. We talk about them on air because that's when you may make that bet. But then we actually lock in the bets usually the day before. The lines change a little bit. Hasn't really affected anything for us in year 1. But that was an interesting situation. I thought that was that'd be interesting to talk about for a minute.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I think that's always the hardest part, I think, in some sports betting scenarios. And that's why they like the half points. You know, I know when I explain this to my wife and she's like, well, how can they have 6.5 points? It doesn't make any sense. It's making so there's got to be a winner or a loser, you know.
Right.
But the ones where they do the even points, it is fascinating because it does kind of give you an out there, but it doesn't hit. You know, when we get into the meat of the NBA season, that happens a lot of games, and it really that scenario doesn't come into play as often as you think. But in scenarios like that, you know, Bryce Young, they scored to make that a 3-point game. And then they get the push. It kind of makes I'm sure Vegas feels really good. They're like, see, we were right on. We told you.
Yeah, no, you're feeling if you're the odds maker, the guy running the computers that's running the analytics, you're like,
Yeah.
good, my little machine, good. Because at the end of the day, all you've really done is wasted your time and our time. Like,
Yeah.
that's the truth of what's happening here.
But they, Jared, they know they're giving you that money back. They know it's coming back their way.
Oh yeah.
They're not stupid.
If you
They're
look
not
at the statistical percentages of how many people cash out versus reinvest on online betting apps, the house ain't losing, baby.
Oh,
The
my
house
gosh.
ain't losing.
I will give you a little tidbit here. Now, this kind of goes against us because we picked two favorites, or at least I did. But the underdogs, 17, 12, and 1 in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season.
Wow.
Against the spread.
Against the spread.
So picking the underdogs has made you more money than picking the favorites. But I do feel good about Miami, and I feel good about the Patriots. So I'm not going off of that. But just to let you know, if you were just like not sure what to do, that has actually paid off in a better way. So not to scare you, I'm sticking with our bets.
No, I like it. It's because at the end of the day, at 8-4, Benjamin Bets is making you more money than the 17-12-1. Also, just to throw a little competitive spirit out there, if you're betting one of us and not the other, I am currently sitting at 6-0 this season. Corey is sitting at 2-4. He's all of our L's so far. I'm just saying, bet Jared. Bet Jared if you got to pick one of us.
I feel the tide is turning. Look to the east.
At the turn of the tide.
At the third day. Look to the east. I'm coming.
I can't believe you're invoking Lord of the Rings against me. That's uncalled for. Uncalled for. I feel like you're getting penalized for sniping my games. That's what I feel like the karmatic situation here is.
I can't believe I did that last week. But that would have been the worst that over hadn't hit the Colts at Houston. But thank the Lord it did. I did lose my quarterback, but it did hit, so I didn't feel as bad taking that game from you. Now this week, people didn't hear before we started recording. You kept it close to the cup. You didn't give me any tidbits of what you were picking.
No, I feel like I have to play a little more guarded now that we've added this competitive element into the podcast. But we did good. Like usually I feel like what happens is I'm treading on one of your picks for the mortgage. I usually am pretty good about staying away for what you're thinking about for your top threes. And we were, I mean, this just feels like an in-sync week. I didn't even really like the lines this week, but this feels magical. And I don't know. We'll see. Talk to me after the noon games.
I will. The only one that I was debating, if you didn't take it in the 3, was going to be Pittsburgh at +2.5. I was like, again, dumbfounded that they were not favored in that game. And there's something we don't know that Vegas knows, like clearly.
I don't know, man.
So we may sound like idiots on next week, but I don't know. That was a great pick, money line, baby. So
here's going to be the interesting part about this week for our non-mortgage bets: 5 noon games and then a Sunday night.
Oh my gosh!
5 noon games and then a Sunday night.
Oh, that I just want it so bad. I want to hit the 5 and then just be that Sunday night would be. Oh my gosh, would be glorious. I didn't know we did that.
Be glorious. 5 Sunday nights, and then like I said, the other ones are mixed in. You got Monday night for your mortgage, and then you also have a nice afternoon game. So you're gonna want to watch every game if you're listening, because we've rounded it out. Only thing. And I don't personally like doing this either. The Thursday night games feel like coin flips. I want to stay away from them.
Yeah, I'm not touching Thursday night with a 10-foot pole. If you could give me 2 scenarios, like you could give me one that says San Francisco wins, 38-10, and I would say, yeah, about right. Or you could say the Giants hung around and lost by 3. I'd be like, okay, kind of makes sense. So yeah, there's no way, man. No way. Maybe the over. You could have maybe convinced me. I think there's going to be some points scored, but I don't think the Giants have a defense worth anything. So I think San Francisco is going to run rampant all over them.
I can't get you in at a Giants money line at plus 420.
No.
No.
No Saquon, no chance. Not happening.
There's just some games like this where I'm like, why do they even give you a money line for the Niners minus 560? Like, just shut it down.
Wait. What would a money line do? A 3-team parlay? Money line Cardinals, Bears, and Giants. What would that win? If you pick the 3 underdogs, huge underdogs.
Bears, and then who's the last one? Cardinals?
Yeah.
So a $10 3-leg parlay will win you almost $2,000.
Oh my gosh. Let's do it. Let's do a Benjamin Bet special. Let's do it. $10.
Hell would freeze over if the Chiefs, Niners, and Cowboys lost this week. There's no way. There's no way.
I think the Bears Chiefs game could be a little close, sneaky close. The Cowboys will obliterate the Cardinals. That just doesn't feel right. I still don't think the Cowboys are legit, but they will demolish the poor Cardinals. I can bet that.
It's gonna happen.
Clearly not enough to put it into our parlay, so maybe I don't feel as confident.
I don't. I just have a sour taste in my mouth about any type of Thursday game. Once our listeners join us for our weekend of Thanksgiving fun, you will notice there will be 0 Thursday bets. Thursday bets this year.
Yeah, that turkey gonna be trotting on its own. We're not betting no Thursday.
No Thursday
right now.
For us.
8-4. Like, you're making money right now, and if you're just betting Jared because you're just like, he's a handsome guy, I'm rolling with Jared, screw Corey, you're making real money right now. Like, you're probably messaging Jared on the side. He just hasn't said anything. He's like, hey, give me a 4th pick. Give me a 4th pick. Give me a
Listen, have I had some other, DMs slide in that have asked me to, join their podcast? Sure, but I can't do that. I won't do that.
Don't be cheating. Don't be cheating. We're doing this. You get out of his DMs. Don't be sliding. You slide right on out.
Stephen A. wants me to join him and Shannon. Sorry, can't help you.
I wouldn't blame you if you did that. Maybe we'll be a next guest on Shannon's podcast. He has a very nice setup. I enjoy that.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. If Shannon would stop calling Stephen A. Skip, that would be helpful.
Shannon's playing both sides.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's really gonna wrap us up. Be checking us out next week for week 4 of the NFL season. Next week, there's gonna be some other things to talk about. We might have a little esports conversation next week as we look forward to a certain video games worlds scenario coming up here. Just be ready.
Oh, let's go. Be cool, baby. Let's roll. Okay. I'm excited. Come on, SK Telecom. My bet. Yeah, I don't even know.
Bet, like I said, bet China, bet Korea. Bet China, bet Korea.
Bet China, bet Korea. That's what you do, baby.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up for week 3. Benjamin Bets. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything. And basically, I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.